Well, hey there, we're live. I'm Elke.
And I'm Jen.
And we are ready to do day 2 of Start Your Zazzle Business Challenge. This is the challenge that we're going to be doing for the next 3 days, including today. We've already done day 1 yesterday. It was awesome, a huge success. Welcome to everyone who's on. Say your name and where you're from, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Like, are you new to Zazzle, or have you ever even heard of Zazzle? If you have been on Zazzle, tell us a little bit more about it. Have you been doing well? Are you struggling? Would you like to make more money on Zazzle? Jen and I have personally made over $1.5 million on Zazzle over the last 13 years. Yeah, so it's really cool because it's not like a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is a very consistent, long-term profitable business because we've been in the e-commerce space now for over 13 years, and Zazzle is our main source of income, which is really lovely because it's a great platform. It's moved through the years with us in terms of growing and suiting our needs, and the fact that we wanted something stable online, which is hard to do because usually there's a lot of changes online, and when you sort of get yourself into one business, it's hard to understand why all of a sudden things would change so much. And Zazzle has improved and obviously modified things throughout the years, but they've always changed for the better, and we've always been able to profit from it and consistently still make income. So hello to everyone who's on. Welcome. We are here for day 2 of our challenge. People are starting to fall in to place here. Tracy's here. Yeah, there's a bunch of
we've got lots
posts,
of people.
which is awesome. This is a full hour session, so we want to get going. We do have our little slideshow to start with, which will really set the stage. But then today is a very interactive session. We're going to ask you to post in the chat your niche and your store name that you've come up with, because today we're going to help you so that you know a little bit more about, like, are you feeling good about the niche that you decided on, or niches, and in some cases people say niche. So we say niche, so that's the way it is. So if you're wondering, like, what the heck are we talking about? It's niche in some countries and niche in other countries. But it's basically the area that you're going to focus on to make the designs and attract that customer that's interested in that theme, topic, use, whatever. And we talked a little bit about on day 1. We're going to review it here on day 2, and we're then going to do a critique, and then we're going to do the next part, which will be your homework for tonight, and that's to show you how to open up your Zazzle account and show you how to open your first store. And we obviously couldn't do that until we solidified your niche or niche and then decided on your store name. And we're going to go into a little bit more about store name as well, so that you can really feel comfortable about the name that you chose, because this is the beginning of your business. We're so excited to have you get started. And if you're here and you've already started a business on Zazzle and you've got a store name, I'm sure you have questions. They're going to come up in the Q&A, so we can deal with those as well today, which I'm really excited about. What about you? Are you ready to get going?
No, I'm super excited. Yes.
Jen's still doing all the
I'm just inviting everybody by email and Facebook, making sure that everybody who signed up is on live, because we don't want you to miss out.
And we've got Jacqueline from Florida, Misha from Trinidad, Phyllis from New York. Yeah, so okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything else? You want to say something before? She's always like the one organizing us. I'm just like, I'm ready to do my presentation.
We're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Facebook. So if you are, if you do see the StreamYard application that prompts you to say, allow StreamYard to use your information, that way we can actually see your name on the back end on our screen here with StreamYard inside the application. But I will also be on the chat on both YouTube and on Facebook. And we're just really excited to get this, like, have it be interactive. We want you to participate whenever we ask you questions. It would be really great for you to answer, or even ask questions pertaining to the material, so we can help you get your first Zazzle store open, and especially work out the things that you might be fearful of, like especially yesterday where we had talked about our store names and what niche.
Never making of our new word.
What niche you wanted to focus on. And I did post, I'm going to look at the thread where it says your biggest takeaways. I'm going to do that in the back end right now, but I want to know how you guys are working through this challenge and what really resonates with you, because that will help us use this challenge to help you better and help you get to where you want to go better.
Our objective with this challenge is for you to get your store open and post your first product. That's this week's challenge. Next week, if you want to join us, we're going to go even deeper into getting the first 3 things done that you need that are crucial for moving you forward to scale your Zazzle business. But first, we have to get you started, and that's today's purpose. And the reason that Jen's doing this with all the chats is because afterwards, you'll maybe watch the replay, and we definitely will be monitoring the chats as well. But some of the chats, especially the YouTube chat, goes away after we stop the live. So make sure that if you're on YouTube and you're walking, like asking questions, that we get to you and that Jen gets to you, right? And we want this to be an opportunity for you to be able to nail down your store name and what niche you're going to sell in, because we want you to feel comfortable going forward to start this Zazzle business, which is supposed to be making you money, right? And so let's get started with the actual presentation. And then we'll get into all the live components of everything as well. Okay, so this is day 2 of, oh no, and I forgot to take the banner off again. Sorry about that. The tech issues are always like I'm not doing everything properly here in the banner.
Awesome.
Take it off and then go back to the slideshow and do screen share. Okay, so there we go. So let's do this again. Technology is amazing. Okay. So then we're ready to go. Okay.
Perfect.
So day 2 of the Start Your Zazzle Business Challenge. We're here to do one thing, and one thing only, is open up your Zazzle store properly today. And that obviously has a whole bunch of components that we're going to walk through and help you with. And we are so excited to get started. Okay, so we are Jen and Elke, as you know. And we have been working online on Zazzle for 13 years, and we've made $1.5 million combined take home, right? That doesn't mean that that's what we sold on Zazzle. It means that's what we've pocketed, we've banked. And what's really wonderful about the Zazzle business is it's been consistent over all of those years. It's not that we made that money and now we're trying to sell courses or something. No, this is still our livelihood. We still make money on Zazzle. We're still active designers, and we are very, very passionate about the fact that this has been so empowering for us that we want to also allow you to have that opportunity, because we find that creatives are people who are extremely gifted, but not when it comes to business and business strategy and management. And that's where some of our background comes in, where we have both. We have the creativity and we have the business management and strategy. And so we've been very successful. And therefore now those, like if that's you, if that resonates with you, that it's like, I can't do the business side of things, then you're in the right spot, because we're first of all walking you through things so that you can easily get going and just start making some products online. But then when you get to the point where you go, why aren't they selling? Then the business side of things comes in, and that's where we can help you with coaching and anything to do with courses and training and free training like we're doing now. Okay, so, and we love being our own bosses. We love setting our own hours. I did a whole bunch of stuff this morning that was fun that I wanted to do. I didn't just like have to go to a job 9 to 5. Anything to any kind of job where you're being clocked by the hour, or you only have a certain paycheck and you work like buckets more hours than you really need to because you're in a corporate job and supposedly you're working 9 to 5, but really you're working 9 to midnight, or even 8 to midnight, who knows. That's what happened to me. And when I first started, I was just stuck in that job, even though I had the training qualifications, I was moving up the corporate ladder, but I had no time with my kids. And so I made a stand, and I said, that's it, I've got to figure something else out. And that's when even though I've tried a ton of other things, Zazzle was the one thing that when I said, listen, I've got to do this another way and make money passively, not like actively trading dollars for hours, hours for dollars, then I came across Zazzle, and it's been a life changer for me. It's transformed my ability to be do what I want and live my dream life. And Jen's been the same. So I don't know, do you want to take a two seconds, or you're busy doing this? We want to, Jen, I'll say something for Jen. she didn't know really what she was doing in university. Like, she was in a business program and she loved the business aspect of it, but not the accounting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to merge the creative and the business. And she also just wanted to travel. She didn't feel like, that sort of a thing that, okay, you've got this great education and now you're ready to go into a corporate job and you're gonna have to work really hard hours. You won't have a life for the next 10 years till you work your way up the ladder. And like, that just scared the heck out of you, right?
Yeah,
like,
I
you
felt
wanted
very
to be
nervous.
free.
Yeah, I felt very nervous and unaware, like unsure of what I wanted to do. I had
Yeah.
somewhat of a vision, but I wasn't cookie cutter sort of in the mold of where I thought I should be. And so Zazzle gave me the opportunity to be creative, be like
Set your own hours.
Yeah, set my own hours, and then also be my own boss, and then work from wherever, because I did travel a lot, and I think that was sort of my passion and the fuel that gave me the inspiration to be creative. And everybody has a specific reason why they would want to work online or be creative and make money online. And so mine was to travel the world and to be able to sort of explore and do things on my own. And Zazzle gave me the opportunity to do that right out of university, without actually having, as you said, 9-to-5 job where I had to save
work
up money.
visas, or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is where we've come to, and now we also have been successful and had this urge to help others, and that's what that's our mission, to empower you to be successful using your creativity. So what we're going to cover today is review of the niche and store name really fast, but we really want to get to the point where we're talking to you about like actually hearing what your niche is going to be and your store name, and we can give you some feedback on that. Or even if you just like want to say, hey, I can't figure it out, what could we do? And then the next part is a bit of training video that shows you how to open your Zazzle store. Mm-hmm. And then because of that training video, then you'll be sent off to do your homework for day 2, so that tomorrow we come back and we're going to be doing creating your first product, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be really awesome. Okay, so let's go through what we reviewed yesterday just to help solidify this. We're not going to spend too long on it. We want to do the critique. So why do you need to define your niche? Well, first of all, that will help you narrow down what you're going to sell in your store, because if you're selling too much and you're not focused in, the customer gets confused. And so it takes away a lot of the opportunities that are very subtle, but customers need to be helped to narrow down the choices that they have, so that they can just get what they need, not just spend hours figuring out everything you have in your store. Okay, so that's very much attuned to serving your customer by nailing down your niche. Now you may say, okay, well then that means I won't have as many opportunities to make money. No, actually it works the other way around. You have to narrow it down first, and that doesn't mean you can't have another store or have multiple categories within your store that are deciding, targeting different niches. But first you have to narrow it down even for yourself, because what happens if you're trying to do a lot of projects at once, right? You get overwhelmed, and then all of a sudden you don't do any of them because you never know where to start. And so this is helping you, as well as helping set up your store in a way that your customers are going to have a much better buying experience. Okay, so, and the other thing that you need to realize is that your niche will define the Zazzle store name that you are going to generate as your store, use to make your store up. And there is a brand recognition that is part of that story. And so it's very important, because if you name it John's Lawn Care and it's really a wedding invitation store, obviously that's like a really stupid example, but that's even if the examples are more subtle, the customer doesn't get the connection, and therefore they're not interested in buying from you, because your professionalism has dropped a lot. And so that's why we want to define your niche. So the easy way to do that, and I hope you've done this all as your homework, if you're watching us for the first time today, it's going to be easy to catch up. Don't worry. You're going to list your interests that you have, and if you filled out your worksheet, they're already done for you because we asked you that. So you did your homework way before. And but they should just come to you like that anyway. It doesn't matter, because you really need to have a focus on what is interesting to you, because otherwise you won't be able to in the long run, and there's a fly, in the long run, be as interested in doing this for so many years, right? Oh my goodness. We've been in this for 13 years, and yes, our interests have changed, but the core interests have not changed. We've just sort of expanded. And so you have to love what you do, right? And so then the other thing that happens when you have those interests is you already have the intel on that. You have the research, the knowledge of what people like in that area because you're in that area. You know about it, right? If you're a Marvel geek like we are, then you know all about, every character and whatnot. You know when the movies came out and all that stuff. Whereas if you're brand new to the Marvel scene and all this comic book stuff, then you've got a big learning curve, and you don't want that. You want to just get right in there and use your strengths when you're setting up your Zazzle store. All right, then list what creative skills you have. This is very important because it's not that you have to figure out now that you realize you don't know how to paint and so you can't be on Zazzle. No, it's what do you have that you could use, but also what do you not have that you don't need to worry about because you can compromise and make up for those, because anyone can be on Zazzle, anyone. If you want to draw, or if you want to paint, or if you want to take photographs, or if you just want to play with typography, all of those are possible. Then if you have no idea what is happening, you just want to build up a business and you know that certain things are trending, you can purchase graphics that are used for, or that have the license for commercial use, and you can figure out how to add text to those, because we teach that for you in our Profit by Design Academy course. So it's all set up for you. So then the last thing that I already touched on, but all three of these are very, very important, but the third is the most important, is because you're going to spend hours on this business. You're going to spend time on this business when you don't want to, because you are needed to make the money, but no business is without its obstacles and not so fun times. If you want to have fun, you just pay and you go on vacation. But we don't do that, because a business is a business. And if you're deluding yourself if you don't think that there's going to be some times where you don't really want to sit down at your computer and make some stuff for your Zazzle business or promote or something else. So whatever it is that you decide to do, you want to love it, so that at least that part where you go, okay, but I just really love doing sports, or hunting and fishing, or my yoga, for example. So if that's always there, that you're at least working in the area you love, that will help push forward anything that might be a negative for you, especially if you don't have results right away. You want to keep pushing forward. Okay. So if everyone's clear on that, then the next thing we want to go into is deciding your store name, because now you've got your niche. And your niche can also be related to a theme rather than a use. And so we want to make sure that that's very clear for you and for us to understand where you're coming from, because you can decide if your niche is going to be very much the fact that you are just a designer or an artist. That's your niche. Or you're going to focus on weddings, or you're going to focus on occasions. That's a niche. Or you're going to focus on business or sports, or like we have a lot of students who are very specific in their niches, like crocheting, hunting and fishing, quite taekwondo, things like that. And you're kind of like, what just happened? You've got students that are doing this. They're doing very well, actually. The thing is that it's whatever niche you're interested in. But if you're interested in everything, then maybe it's a style. Maybe your style is bold and brush, and so all of your designs are that style. Or you're a floral watercolorist, that's your style. And then you also may have the ability to just make everything very modern and minimalistic. That could be your style, and it could also be your niche. And then your niche, your categories, like wherever you decide to design in, like your business, occasions, weddings, whatever, that could very well be your categories that are all within your store, but it's all tied together with your modern minimalistic approach to all your designs. So it's very fun, and that's why I want to get into the critique as soon as possible, to get you to really address that and make sure you're clear with your niche. Okay, so deciding on your store name is then also very specific in terms of what it is that you're going to target. Make sure that you really understand this, because the store name can't be changed. You can change it on what it looks like in the Zazzle marketplace, but your URL for your store where you're going to send customers is not going to change. So make sure you realize that you can't fix that. You can only open up another store, but if you have a lot of products that are already in your other store that you now realize the store name doesn't work, you're going to have to do some workarounds. And that doesn't look as professional as just being solid right from the get-go. So if you have one niche that you want to focus on, like what we said, like with Taekwondo or hunting and fishing, then you're going to have a very specific store name, like Debbie's Hunting and Fishing store, or like or gallery, or hunting fishing emporium, or yes, or hunting fishing personalized items. You can have stores, boutique, gallery, or you can just have a fun name like, Trout and Bass, right? Something weird and wonderful, but it still relates to the theme, which is fishing. If you want to have multiple niches in your store and you're more of a design niche kind of a format, or you're an artist, or you want to have your name associated with your brand, then even though it's called a general store name, it's your brand name, but you're a general store, right? You're going to have everything, but it's related to whatever it is that you are going to produce. And it's going to be your own style or your own niche, even though you're going into multiple niches, like whatever Zazzle offers. And in this case, the niches are more so use related rather than theme related, because you're going to design in all kinds of themes, but your uses like home occasions, like electronics, clothing, that's all up for grabs now, because you're going to do multiple niches that are basically related to use, but you're going to be under the umbrella of your name, or a design company that you've made up that's kind of fun, that doesn't mean anything, but the name sounds cool. All right, so but you want to never use things like Jen Clarke 78 or other things where you think it's just like a username, but it really isn't. It's your store name, and it has a lot of brand associated with it. Okay, so let's do this. For the next 10 minutes, and it's perfect timing because it's almost 3 o'clock on my time here. We're going to set the clock, post in the chat, and we're going to man both the YouTube channel and the Facebook channel to see what you've come up with list your niche and your store name. And then like say that, like, my niche is this, my store name is this. You don't have to write out the whole URL, unless you have the URL, and then you just want to post it in the chat. So, but post them together in one comment so that we don't have to chase you down with what each one is, and then we can do some critiquing. Okay, I don't think I have another slide there. No, okay, I'm ready to stop the screen share. So let's have a look. I don't actually have Facebook open.
I've got it open here.
So what have we got? And are there any that we want to?
Okay, so let me know if I'm pronouncing your name properly. Rinat. She's from Israel. She says, I have a website called It's Your Party for free party printables. So maybe the name will be okay. And I sell party printables. And so I'm assuming that you want to take that concept and then now move it over to Zazzle. Yeah. Which is really great. And if you're going to do party related items and keep that within your store, not that you're going to branch out, I think it's a really great name. And I love how it says it's your party, because that means that it's customizable and you're giving the customer a vision of the fact that it's going to be their party, right? It's theirs. It's their special day, and you're going to make it special for them because it's tailored and customized to what they want, which is really great.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that's now that you've got, like, that's solid, right? That's really solid. So, but now before you finish doing that, and I'm going on my computer here so I can screen share.
I wonder if we can close a couple applications for a moment, because I think our internet's very busy.
I already have everything closed.
I don't know if you can close that for a moment. But
okay.
It's pretty blurry, and we've had some people say there's some things. So hopefully the internet's quite good. Let us know if you can hear us properly or if there's any issues. But
sometimes it's the other people's internet. So yeah. Just so you know, but there we have, yeah.
That's good. Okay, awesome. Perfect. So, and then we've got Tracy says, my niche is art, illustration, surface pattern design, and my store is called Noonday Design, which is my brand, which is awesome.
Okay. Awesome. I just keep going if there's more. If not, I want to just quickly show you something that we need to have you do after you've figured out your store. Then I want you to put in the Google search the word TESS, and then that comes up with something called the Search Trademark Database. Or you can go here, it doesn't matter, but that's different. That's different. You don't want to do NASA, you want to do the Search Trade Database. That's the first time I've seen the test. Okay, so when you get there, because it's a long URL, but if you just type in tests, then it comes up as a search. And so if you wanted to, actually, we can copy, or you want to copy that into the, so this is very important because you just click here. And what you're going to do is then you're going to put in basic word search, and then you're going to put in your store name into here. So what did she say? Party.
Give me one moment here.
Party something or other.
No, hold on.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so just put it in.
It's your party.
What's that?
It's your party.
Okay. It's your party. And so this is the last step before you can say for sure that you're okay, because this is the trademarks that have already been submitted and or are like active or not active. And if a lot comes up here, then unfortunately you may have a few issues with trademarks, but you can just click on any of these. Like most of these are dead and one is live, and then it says it's party on your head. So then you go, okay, well, it doesn't really look like, and you can click on all of these and figure out more about each one. And if they are big companies, you might want to add something else. So then we could say like, it's your party by, what was her name?
Rinat, R-I-N-A-T.
R-I-N-A-T. Yeah, so if you just do that, then you search, and then it's not going to come up with, as many things that might even, like, see, now it's coming up with things that don't even matter because it's no longer as much of an issue because you've added the by Rinat. So now, yeah, I don't know. We've got a wonderful resident fly who wants to be on live stream. So make sure you just quickly do that as well to double check to make sure you're not going to be in violation of copyright, because you're setting up your brand and you're setting up your business. And so you don't have like a lot of funds to check on with a lawyer. But if you check that, it's the American Trademark database, and it might look a little bit complicated, but just click around and have a look, and you'll slowly understand what's going on. Most of the customers come from the United States on Zazzle, so you're dealing with the U.S. market. And if you basically set up for U.S. market, then you will be fine if you just even do this to start with. If you feel more comfortable checking with a lawyer, that's great, but that costs a lot of money to make sure that they do a proper search. But just a general search or even a Google search of your phrase to see what else comes up. If there's a big companies that come up that are well established online, then make sure you make a little bit of a change to your title. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of other people who have written in. So.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just check some more people out in terms of what they've written. I can't wait to hear their store names.
So Iman says my niches are home and office, but I haven't written your store name. Then Ali says my niches are organizing supplies / blog merch. My store is called Scattered Squirrel, and which is the name of my website. Then we've got Colette.
What do you think about that one?
I know.
You're just stopping. You're just reading them out.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed to be critiquing them.
Jump in and say something.
I don't know. You're going so fast. You say something.
Okay. I wanted to ask more about Ali's in terms of what kind of products you have and what organizing supplies means. and give us some idea. And then if scattered squirrel has a meaning to you, because I think that also, I'm just reading them out to get some more information of what people have written. But if you write down your name, and then, for example, with Tracy, Noonday Designs is her brand, but maybe where did it come from, or what does it mean to you? And that's also sort of like the meaning of what it is for a designer to have a specific name like that, and to have that translated through your designs, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, Noondays, is that her last name?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's her artist name or her, yeah.
But I'm just reading them. So Ali says...
And also make sure that when you're doing this, if you already have established social media sites and you have other stores that are online, like maybe on Redbubble or anywhere else, then maybe you want to actually make it the same name so that everything's consistent, especially if you have a website already, then you know what your name is. As long as everything works and you've got lots of followers, that you should be consistently doing the same, like creating that name on Zazzle. Mm-hmm. If you just want to start over because all those other things that you've done are kind of hodgepodge, as some people say, then that means that you could do this kind of intense research and figure it out now and start fresh with Zazzle and then create new social media accounts based on your new name.
Okay, so yeah, Ali, if it's a scattered squirrel, which I have
love
a visual,
that name.
I really like it, and I think if it's about organizing your house or something and sort of giving order to like a scatterbrained kind of thing, then that's really cool. Yeah. Let us know if that's what if my interpretation is correct, but I really love it. Then Colette says metaphysical/inspiration. My stores expand to forever, which is really cool. I love that as well.
And what's her store name?
Expand to forever.
Very cool.
And then we've got Stephanie says, I started my store in fall 2019. The name is Steph's Sentiments. My tagline is finding special items and gifts is easy with Steph's Sentiments. I've done photography and graphics. I have a lot of different products. I'm confused about creating a niche. Okay, well, yeah, well, you in your title, you already have sentiments. So now I see that being a lot of, like, you can have any department in terms of any product, right? Because you can have sentiments that are home decor, and you can have sentiments that are edibles, and you can have sentiments that are like even cell phone cases, electronics, things like that. But your title basically says what it is. And I love the alliteration. So if you can go, like, if you're going to choose like a store name, like the what is it? Squirrel one? That was Scattered Squirrel. Scattered Squirrel. That's also an alliteration. So SS, right? And Stephanie's Sentiments, same thing. It's catchy and it really helps. And by the scattered tells you this is for organization, because the squirrel, hoards things and it's awesome. Whereas yours with Stephanie's Sentiments, that's also great because it means that they're personally from you. So you're the artist and the brand, and then you're creating things that are memorable and beautiful that people want. And so your niche is not confusing whatsoever. It actually tells me a lot from just your name, let alone from anything you might have in your store or your brand. If you're still confused, maybe ask more questions and tell us why you're confused. Like, what is it that's stopping you from understanding that? Because it feels really clear to me. That's good. And it doesn't just have to be, a thank you card or a get well quick card. This is huge because sentiments is memory. Sentiments is the ability to provide something that's meaningful, like a monogram pillow, and especially if you do photography, then you can make it something where the person can exchange their photo or your photo that's a sample photo for their photo, or you can have photos that resonate with people that you've taken, like flowers, animals, dogs, anything where people are attached to and feel a sentiment when they see the picture. Okay, so what else we got? So
we got
Danielle
two more minutes. We're really good on time.
Danielle says, my niche is fine art as well as digital art of florals, seascapes, and sky art, sunsets, etc. And I have these on home decor. The name of my store is Danielle Tabas Fine Art Studio. Cool. That's her last name and her name. When I did the 50 and Fabulous birthday, my design came out very sporty looking with bold yellow, red, and black colors. So it looks out of place. I like it doesn't belong in the store, and I think I should remove it and do another design.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a really great example of where artists who are very clearly set up as fine art design. If you want to, you could still do birthday things within your fine art store, but you use your fine art. If you're starting to go into something else, like you said, it doesn't look like it belongs there, then that's where you open a second store that you're more a little bit like incognito. You don't need to even have your name associated with it. But if you do, then it could be just, your name and designs or design studio, but it's not fine art studio, right? So fine art stays in the fine art store, and then everything else that you have fun with playing and even doing like the 15 Fabulous, that's very much another store. If some people do have the way to bring it so that it's just a store category in the fine art store, but in terms of branding and marketing, it's very, very important that you as an artist keep your fine art store pristine with your fine art, and actually even elevate the prices and only have certain things in that store that make it look like it's really special and high end, so that if people come there, they're going to feel like they're buying something very unique and special.
Okay, then we've got on YouTube, Cass says, hi, I don't have a specific niche, but I have over 4,000 designs on merch for t-shirts for various niches. All the designs are done by me on Photoshop. Still struggling down to figure out a niche.
Well, what kind of, like 4,000 designs is a lot, obviously, but what are your designs? Are they cartoon? Are they text-based? Are they like very 3D Photoshop, like wild graphics, or like, and who buys them, right? Maybe your niche is actually defined by the customer, that type of customer. Is it funny? Is it humorous? Like, that's a niche too. Like, humor is a niche, political is a niche, whatever, like sayings of motivation are niches that you could focus in on. But in your case, if you have like a huge variety, then each of those could be a store category within your store, and then you just call it something cool, like Cassar Designs. Just something where it's a studio, and it's just all of your items that are already, like, you've already done the work. You just need to spread it around the world. And so now you can just take those designs and transfer them to Zazzle. And for you, especially with you're doing merch, if you are with like there's programs now that can actually just transfer that over, as long as you've got a nice store set up and you're not spamming with just dumping stuff out. And as long as you have really nice titles and tags, then that's going to be very, very helpful for you with your 4,000 designs that are on merch. Let's see. If that helps, let us know, because we are monitoring the comments here on YouTube. And who else do we have that we need to talk about?
So, well, we can. Misha says my niche is pattern. Oh, did I miss one?
What about Ursa?
Oh, right here. But I haven't read this one yet.
Oh, okay. But
either way,
no, it doesn't matter. I thought we were just doing all the people on YouTube.
Sure. Ursa on YouTube is, I'm an artist. My niche is grunge digital doodle designs. My store name is Flow Ink Designs. I named it because I create them in the flow state.
Perfect. Cool. Perfect. I love it. And so you're all set to go. Misha, what? I thought you got through all the Facebook ones.
No, I haven't yet. Okay. My niche is pattern design, graphic design, illustration, drawing, and the name of my store is Misha K Art Design. Awesome.
Great. Now it says ampersand, so I want to make sure that people don't do that if possible. Don't put like ands, like ampersands or any punctuation in your store name, because your store name is a URL, and we want to make sure that the URL doesn't get botched up by different programs. Sometimes some sites, platforms are not as comfortable, and they switch it out to all a bunch of code when it becomes like a symbol of some sort. Okay, we've got some other people.
Phyllis says, I love reading words. I love reading and words come easy, and I love graphics. I would do well with cards. Billy Ann's design. So she says that she likes sort of word art, which is really nice.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's perfect, Phyllis. Awesome. And we actually are over our time. So do we have any more?
Just the two more. So Christine says, store name is Chips Gifts, comes from my name. More general niche, unique gifts for the whole family. Awesome. I love it because it's Christine Chip Chase. Then Stephanie says, thank you so much for the input. Danielle, thank you for the input. Everybody says thank you very much.
Okay, and Cass says their 50% text-based restaurant are on ladybugs, owls, llamas, and a couple more. Oh my gosh, Cass, get your stuff onto Zazzle. Those are all really fun designs that, especially the llamas and owls, there's definitely, yeah, all three of those are very popular, and the sooner you can get them on there, the better. Yeah, and what is it? Is it Amazon Merch? No, it's not. Merch Informer. Merch Informer just integrated with Zazzle. If they're not already part of that platform, you can have a look and see how that works for you. They are in the beta stages. They've just made the connection, so check it out. But it would mean that you're basically posting on Merch Informer, and then you spread it to Amazon Merch and to all the other platforms that they're associated or integrated with. And one of those is Zazzle.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay. All right. So now we're back to doing our screen share. We're going to go into the part where we're showing you a video, because every time we do this training, we've been opening up two user accounts. That's not working very well with Zazzle. We just wanted to do one account that we can keep showing you over and over again. So this is actually a recorded video. So give us like 6-7 minutes of your time. Don't leave, because we're going to afterwards give you another chance to do more Q&A so that you can really understand how to set up your Zazzle store, so that tomorrow when we do the making your first product tutorial, then you'll be much more because you'll have your store open, right? We want you to open your store tonight. And if you don't have your store open, this is really crucial. If you have your store open and you realize you may have done something that wasn't quite right while you're watching this video, then you'll go, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know, because now I get it. Now I know why there's an issue. Okay, so yeah, so even people who have already opened their store might learn something from this. Let's see, where are we now? We have to go here, and then screen share. And then, okay, so let's do it. And pick this. Now, is it
application window?
Is now the application?
Or the Chrome tab here.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
StreamYard is amazing, by the way.
I am on the main homepage.
Okay, we have to, how do we make it bigger? Okay, there we go.
Okay, so
let's see. I'm going to get the mic over here, so let us know if you hear it. And yeah, okay. So this is a pre-recorded video, just so you guys know, but stick with us for the next 7 minutes, and then we'll talk afterwards. You can ask questions, and we'll keep going with the challenge.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to do, sorry, one moment. We're going to do this. I'm going to stop that. There we go. Share the screen. So we don't need to show our faces at the moment. We can just share. There we go. Okay. Page of Zazzle right now, as you can see, all of these designs are made by individual designers just like you. And this is amazing. Zazzle creates a space for designers and artists and anyone out there who wants to make money online using their creativity. Oh. However, it means that you have to be very respectful of copyright and copying other people's designs. There have been multiple designers or store owners that have been shut down on Zazzle because they are directly copying other people's products because they know that they're trending or popular. This doesn't mean that you can't create products that are similar. You just cannot copy them directly. As well, you have to be very, very cautious about getting photos and images that have copyright protected content. For example, you can't go onto Google and search for a certain image and then post it on a product for sale. You have to own that copyrighted image. If you're a photographer or an artist and you create your own content, that's perfect. You don't have to worry about a thing. Don't worry, it is super, super simple. And in the second tutorial on when we create our first product, I'm going to show you how to create beautiful products without even having to worry about any graphics. You can use the Zazzle design tool to create beautiful products just on the platform. Okay, so let's get started by opening up our first Zazzle store. What you're going to need is a working email, an email that you have access to, that you can confirm that it's your email, and also an email that you check quite often, because this is going to be now your contact email for Zazzle, as well it's going to be a way that they contact you for payment reasons. So as I mentioned before, I am on the Zazzle website. I am on Zazzle.com. When you go onto Zazzle.com, it might not look exactly like what is seen here because they do quite often change their homepage banner. But as long as you go to Zazzle.com, everything is going to be the same in terms of the steps that we're going to take to open up our store. So you're going to go here to the right-hand side and click on the button that says sign in. You're then going to scroll down to the bottom and it says, don't have a Zazzle account, create a new account. Now we're going to put in our email and then create a password. Now it says that your account has been created and you are logged in underneath your email. And you're going to click continue. Now I've been redirected back to the home page. I have now created my account. This means that I can log into Zazzle with this email and this password in the future. This is where I will be hosting my store. We still have to open up the store. We only created the account so far. So what you're going to do is now click underneath the profile icon here, and you're going to say my profile. Once you're on your profile section, you're going to click under stores, and it's going to say open up a new store. You're going to click on open up a new store, and it's going to tell you the benefits of opening up a store. So it says customizable to match your design. Your brand is you. This is why I told you about how your interests are so important. You can profit from your interests by selling products on Zazzle. You have a store comment wall. You can create a fan club. You have real-time reporting center, and it is 100% free, no strings attached. You have unlimited design storage. As I said previously, the sky is the limit here. You have the green light to go ahead and start designing and start being super creative and start earning royalties on your designs. Okay, so it says to open up a Zazzle store, you need a valid email address, which we just provided for our account. I'm going to click continue. After I click continue, it told me to verify my email, which you will be prompted to do as well. You just go into your inbox and click the link that Zazzle has sent you in an email, and then you'll be able to open up your first store. You'll be redirected to this page here. And it says open up your first Zazzle store. And here is where we get to pick our store name. It is super exciting. We are about to open up and create our first online digital store. When you are creating your first store name, I want you to think about what this store name will mean to you and how it will reflect with your branding and your image in the future. A lot of our course members, when they first started out on Zazzle, picked a store name almost like an account username. And so, for example, they created a store name like Jen Clarke 123. And I totally understand if this is what you thought maybe you would name your store, because maybe you don't have a super clear direction on where you want this store to go in the future. However, the store name is super important because this will designate your URL for your store. And plus, you want something that will give your customers an idea of what's going to be in your store and what they're going to find. So if you're a little bit unsure at this point in time on what your store name will be, that's okay. You can name it something generic. Have you got a store name in mind? So if you're still struggling with what your store name might possibly be called, you can think about what you're interested in. So for example, if you like stationery like I do, like wedding invitations or celebrations or graduation invitations, you can create something like Jen Clarke Stationery or Jen Clarke Designs, or it doesn't have to be associated with your name. You can do pretty paper or perfect invites, or if you like sports, maybe your name will be The Sport Life, or if you like pets, maybe you want to be Fuzzy Friends. Things like that, where you're creating a store name and you're creating your brand. And also it should mean something to you. You should have some sort of connection to your store name. So I'm going to start typing in my Zazzle store name here. And it says only numbers and underscores are allowed in the store name, and it must be between 6 to 20 characters long. I want to say to you as well as once you start typing in, you're going to see a text that says available pop up on the right hand side here. That means that the name is available. It's just like creating a Pinterest account or an Instagram account. You need to have it be available because once you create this name, it's going to create a specific URL for you. So I'm just going to say Jen Clarke Designs, and it is available. If it wasn't available, this would not appear on the right hand side. It would just be blank. So you would have to type in a different version of what you're trying to create for your store name, or put an underscore in to make sure that it's available. And you just say, I'm not a robot. Then you say, create your store. Now here's where you put in all your store information, your bio, about you. You can put in a store banner, and then you would say submit. And then now you have your first store created, and you can see that underneath your profile when you hover over the profile icon. And now you can see my Jen Clarke Design store is underneath my stores. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to create your first Zazzle online store. I'm going to show you how to create your first product in the next tutorial.
Okay, that was awesome. So we'll open up the chat for questions on anything that has to do with opening up your Zazzle store. We showed you how to do the account. We also gave you a bit more information on the copyright and things like that, which might be something that you hadn't thought of, as well as there were some more suggestions on that if you don't have a store like solidified yet, that maybe you could just go ahead and do one. But most people have regretted that. That's why we're doing this challenge, because we want to make sure that you're happy. Once you start to set up a store, as it showed in that last little bit, you have a lot of things to fill out, then you start to add products, and it's not that easy to redo all of that work later. We want you to be efficient and really work like smarter, not harder, which is what our motto is, because you can achieve anything you want if you work smarter, not harder. We're definitely not like we work, but we work intelligently, and we work efficiently, and we work with purpose. So any questions, comments on that?
Well, we had a question, which I've already answered in the chat, but I'll speak to everybody on both of the streaming platforms. We had a question about opening up a store in the US version, like on the .com, versus your home country if you are if you're internationally designing, like in Europe or even in Australia. I know that Zazzle has multiple different .com, like the websites. So there's .com, and then there's .es, there's .co.uk, etc. We tell our students to always design on the .com, which is the US-based website, because that is where the majority of the customers come from and where they shop. So that's more of a strategic action step for you as a business owner, that you're going to be designing on the US-based website so you can attract the most amount of customers. Yes. And if you are designing in your home country website, for example, then you're limiting yourself to selling to the specific people within that website who visit that website and who will get traffic to that website. I have personally designed on the Spanish version of the website because I speak Spanish, and I also have designed on the .com website. And from my own personal experience, I can tell you that my sales always come from the .com. I have one or two in the ES version, but then also Zazzle does a really great job of translating the actual title of the product to the language of the other versions of their websites. So you don't technically have to make versions in that language unless you specifically, for example, wanted to make a wedding invitation or a birthday card in a specific language. Then I would post it on that platform, on that website. Like if you wanted to make a German birthday card, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Then you would write the actual text in the product in German. But the majority of your customers will come from North America, and they will probably most likely speak English. And if they do speak a different language, then they can always ask you as a designer to customize, or they will be able to customize it into their own language because you're creating templates on Zazzle.
Yeah, and if this is just because you want to sign up in the country that you're in, so that it's like for tax purposes, mm-hmm. and all that stuff, that doesn't matter. The most important thing is you just sign up for your account and your store on the Zazzle.com website. It gives you more products, gives you more availability to sell. And then what you do is when you're submitting all the profile information for taxes, that's when all that gets cleared up, mm-hmm. in terms of you're in a different country. So don't worry about that. You do have to claim your income. This is a business, and you have to deal with the treaties that the country that you live in and work in have with the United States for declaring income. But that's all handled by the accounting and by you filling out the right forms, mm-hmm. and dealing with the accounting department on Zazzle. Mm-hmm. And because we're accountants, we can't go into more detail than that.
Because we're not accountants.
Oh, sorry, because we're not accountants. Yes.
No, we can't give you advice. We've done it personally because we live in North America, so we've dealt with it. But you need to make sure that you abide by the rules within your own country, because each country is different, and you need to speak to Zazzle, and then also get that filled out, the proper forms filled out.
So that you can get paid. Because mm-hmm. we fully expect you to get paid. If you do the work, you're going to start seeing some sales. Yeah. That's the whole point, right? And as long as you provide something that people want to buy, then you're going to be. I like to be in a situation where I assume things are going to happen, because then you kind of make them happen. You're taking responsibility. You're setting things up properly, and you're filling out the tax forms, and you're expecting to get paid, right? So even if it's slow coming, that's a timing issue. That has to do with time. But otherwise, it's really related to if you want to run your business as a business, to make sure that you're thinking like a business owner. All right, so there are a couple of things that came through here that I wanted to just ask. Someone asked something about a tax copyright. So I can trademark and copyright the name of my Zazzle store. Yes, you can. And that's really important too, because you're a business. And if someone else sees that you're doing well, if you haven't trademarked something that becomes very recognizable and is branded and making you lots of money, then you need to, like someone takes that from you by registering the trademark first, then you'd have to rebrand yourself completely. It's very costly to do that. So there is a cost involved in getting it trademarked, but especially if you're in the US, it's actually quite easy. You can personally trademark with like an online service, whereas others who want to trademark in the US, which is basically where we tell you to do it, because it's the majority of the market right now for the Zazzle business, then you would have to have a US lawyer do that for you personally in the US. So that becomes more expensive. But it's very, very important. Like we haven't trademarked everything that we've done, but there's certain things that are definitely worth trademarking, and it depends on your budget too, right? But if you are already very well established, like you're as an artist or as a photographer, and you want to make sure that certain things are trademarked, then you should definitely look into that. Okay. Cass says he lives in Spain and should he create another account to promote Spanish language products? You can also put them on the .com website, and they will automatically be transferred to all of the languages, like all the websites of all the different countries. That's the cool part, that Zazzle does the work. It's something that it's hard to get over because you're in a certain country and you think, okay, that means I have to design on the Spanish website. But you have to think of the overall worldwide market, because that's what you're doing. You're on the worldwide market. And the only reason that country sites have been established like Zazzle established country sites is to help shoppers who are shopping on like at a country like Spain. If they're in Spain, if they shop on the .com site, then they have to pay duty, whereas if they shop on the ES site, then they don't pay duty. That Zazzle works something out with paying the duty, and it comes through in the price or something. But depending on where you shop as a shopper, that's the different experience for the shopper. But for you as a designer, it's much better to be on the .com site. You have so many more products. You have a worldwide market, and there's just so many more advantages. That's really important. And if you, there's 30% of the population in the US actually speak Spanish. It's a very high populated Spanish-speaking population. And so that's also something to consider, that they would be very happy to see a Spanish-worded item on even the .com site. Okay.
This question is from Stephanie. She says, so can I, Renette, how do you get paid? PayPal, paycheck, or
both?
Pay owner? Yeah, you can both. You can choose which one you want. Yes.
Yeah, I need about 5 more minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You go for it. I don't know how much you're on.
Just to answer her question.
You choose which one you want to get in by paid by. If you want to be paid by PayPal or if you want to be paid by check. The minimum amount for you to get paid out though is $100. So if you don't make $100, then you will not receive your money until it accumulates into $100. And you can choose which one you want to get paid by. When I first started out, I was receiving a paycheck in the mail, but then I switched over to PayPal just because my own personal, it's easier for you to, So up to you. They have both.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. Thank you so much for all these questions. Now, what I wanted to do, and this is part of the challenge, is for you to understand that there is a lot going on in the Zazzle marketplace to get going and set up in Zazzle, and then that's just even one aspect of it. Then there's what products do I make? How do I, position this so that I get more than a couple of dollars every month? That is very, very important to have those questions and get answers to them. This challenge is going to be including the how to open up a Zazzle store, and a store name, which we just did. But now we're going to also, tomorrow, we're going to show you how to make your first product using the design tool and how to post it properly. Because there's two aspects. You make the design, but you also want to post it properly, because if you don't make it right and also don't post it properly, then you're not going to get those sales. But before we finish for the day, then I want to tell you a little bit about the program that we keep talking about. It's our Profit by Design Academy. It's a course that you can take if you want to start and scale your Zazzle business to reach your first 5,000 a month. And that might seem like cool for some people, because if you're like an Amazon merchant, you're already kind of making that amount of money, then that's cool. But if that money just sounds like a huge amount for making like 5,000 a month, and you go, how the heck am I ever going to get there? Then this is the kind of thing that you need, is a training course beyond the challenges that we're going to do to be able to get there. And this is a self-study course which you can take and it's set up in such a way that it's step-by-step videos that implement the 5 strategies that we teach constantly in our free training. And we also go into extreme detail and how you can implement those in this self-study Profit by Design Academy course. And what you do is you watch the video tutorials, you get a lot of downloadables that are all lists of things like research popular product lists or proven strategies to do things like production and how to set up your production schedule every month, and also your promotion schedule that you can use to promote wherever it is most effective. And you do this and you complete this on your own, which is really nice, because a lot of people have a lot of other things to do. They have jobs, they have kids, they have other responsibilities, and they just need to take their own time to do it. And so this is tried and true. We've just had our first student reach $100,000 after earning like he started with Zazzle and for 5 years never made more than $250 a year. And then he started with this course and he has just reached $100,000 earnings, lifetime earnings, which is really awesome. So that's a wonderful, oops, there we go. Sorry about that. So if you're interested in this, then your investment today is $1,997. That's a one-time payment. That's the better option because the payment plan is more. But if you need the payment plan, then it's $382 for 6 months. And when you do that, you get started right away in the Profit by Design Academy. You get access to all the videos, all 10 modules worth. It's quite an extensive Academy course, and you can take your time and do it at your own pace. We have a lot of students in that course. We have Team Clarke checking your questions for each of the modules and lessons, and you're really taken care of to help you move through the course. Why is that really important to us? Is because this is a different course. This is not the one that you buy and you don't use for 4 months or never even crack open for a year, like Jen and I have done with multiple other courses, because this is not just this is what you need to do. We show you what to do. And by the time you're finished all of the modules, you've actually set up your business and you've made products and you have branded yourself and you've promoted and it's literally walking you through to set up your Zazzle business and showing you what to do to scale your Zazzle business. So if you're interested in that, then go over to elkeclarke.com/start and scale, and you'll see a ton of information there about what you get, the things we cover, the 5 strategies, what do they mean, if that's something you've never heard of. But if you're interested in actually doing this with our help and having us coach you, in addition to having access to this course for lifetime, then the VIP experience, which is here at the bottom, is something that you should very much consider, because it's one of these things that it adds to it. It's coaching in addition to having access to the course. So if you want to start and scale your Zazzle business to your first 5,000 a month fast, like within 8 weeks, not that you're reaching 8 weeks, but you have the 8 weeks of us helping you implement everything. Because as we all know, if you do it on your own, time goes by. And the secret is to implement all 5 strategies correctly, properly, and as soon as possible. So if that's what you want, so that you can get to your first 5K month faster, then you would definitely be, it would be worth your while to use this as a coaching package, not just as a self-study course. And so what you would get is 6 90-minute group coaching calls. So they're basically over 8 weeks, you're getting a call a week, plus you're getting one 60-minute private coaching call, and you get something called either Vox or Access or whatever's comfortable for you, but it's something where you can contact us. For 8 weeks, you have the access to us on a daily basis for us to be able to answer your small questions like that come up that are keeping you stuck in your own moving forward. Whereas if you just ask the question, it would be like a 2-second answer. And so this has been a game changer for many of the people that have taken this route, where they realize their limitations. They realize that they have not been able to get through the course on their own. We have some students who bought the course in 2017 and they have yet to finish it. Can you imagine the difference? Brandon, who is the fellow who just got to 100,000 and has reached gold pro designer status, he did this. He got the help from us. He got the coaching. And because of that, he's now at 100,000. Where are you if you started in 2017? It's very, very important that you treat this as a business and you get the help you need to get the business implemented. If it wasn't for him getting the help he needed earlier on, then he would not be where he is today. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a business that you need to set up properly and consistently work at, smarter but not harder, but still work at and do the right things to get it to really move in that right direction. So if you want to start and scale your Zazzle business to your first 5K months, it's definitely the way to go, is to get invested in yourself, invest in your business, and go to elkeclarke.com/start-and-scale. However, if you want also the coaching component and get to that first 5,000 a month really fast, a lot faster than doing it on your own, then choose the VIP option. And again, the VIP option has a single payment, which is 6667, which if everyone understands that, that's an angel number. And it's very important that you've been called out. You need to listen and hear that this is your opportunity to get Zazzle working for you. So many people are making so much money on Zazzle. It's incredible. Then the other option is the 3-month payments at 2,666. Do I have another slide? Oh, and then as a bonus, what I want you to also know is that if you take part in the VIP experience and the coaching package, then the pivot guide that we gave our students in our coaching program back in April is going to be part of this. It's $1,000 value. And some people have, just with even one part of this almost 40-page document, have made $5,000 months just because, and they were brand new to the game. To like this, Zazzle's basically what we consider like a game or a business, but you're here to see what you can do with the Zazzle business to make money for you. And one of our students right away in the first month made $5,000. Now, that's a one-off, but it was a pivot strategy. And what's really important is we have the tools to give you to do all 5 strategies and to implement a business that's going to work for you long-term, not just the one-offs, which is really fun. But the one-offs are kind of fun too, aren't they? And some of our students are, because they've implemented this long-term, they made $5,000 in March, then they made $5,000 in April, then they made $10,000 in May, and then they made another $5,000 in June. These are just examples of what people have had happen because they've implemented these strategies and worked on not only the COVID pivot strategy, but also the it's a strategy that works in all uncertain times, because it's what actually helped us back in 2008 and 2009 when we had the US recession. That's when we built our business. That's when we reached 100K months or 100K years and had 5K months. It's been really fun. In fact, yeah, it's very consistent over time if you set up your business properly. So that's very important that you go to elkeclarke.com/start-and-scale and understand that if you want to move forward in this business, even though we're going to give you a lot of information in the 2 challenges that we're doing this week and next, if you just want to get started and you want to get all of this information and all the strategies right away and get going and are serious about your business, then you definitely need to sign up and get going, and we'll be so excited to champion you along.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so elkeclarke.com/start-and-scale. You'll put it in the chat,
It's
right?
yep.
Okay. If you have any questions, because I just kind of sprung this on you, please get the answer. Get anything you need answered in the chat. If you want to talk to us personally, see if this is the right thing for you. If you're ready for this, we have a lot of other programs. If you're already in the Profit by Design Academy and you have further aspirations, maybe there's a mastermind or like advanced coaching that you want, we have packages for that as well. Please just chat with us. And we're not one of these people that are interested in just selling courses for the sake of selling courses. We're here to empower you, to serve you, to make sure that you can do what you want to do. You want to live the life of your dreams using your creativity at a business that's hopefully as passive as it is profitable. And that is our mission. And that's why we've set up all of these different opportunities for you to invest in yourself so that you can move forward, just like Brandon did. And the sky is the limit for this man. He's just amazing. And there's so many people that are right behind him that are also students that have taken advantage of this. We have so many silver pro designers, which means that they've made $25,000 as lifetime earnings. And it's all possible. You just need to work smarter, not harder, and to treat your Zazzle business as a business. Okay, so in day 3, we're going to cover designing your first product using the design tool. This will be a live tutorial and also post your first product for sale in the Zazzle marketplace. And this is also a live tutorial, so you don't want to miss tomorrow. And Jen and I are tag teaming, but tomorrow I'm more quiet. She's going to do all of this, and we're going to have a lot of fun so that you can't, make sure you set up your store tonight so that you can definitely do this tomorrow after we finish teaching you this live in the tutorial. And then you'll get to showcase your first product. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for tomorrow. It's going to be really great.
Okay, so see you back here tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we will be covering day 3.
Are we stopping the screen share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. And if you, as we mentioned before, the Profit by Design Academy is open for enrollment. If you have any questions and you don't want to talk in the chat here, you can always private message us and we would love to talk to you. And even about the VIP experience, if you're looking for more of a hands-on and more closer touch points with us where we can help you, then that's also available to people who are not in the Profit by Design Academy or who have taken the Profit by Design Academy. Just this morning, we have a private coaching client. She asked me a small question and I sent her a video on WhatsApp because she needed something explained. So it was just a quick, this is how you do it. And she was really thankful that I was able to help her and send her that message.
Yeah, it would have taken her hours or days to figure that out, right?
Yeah, or it would have taken her a while, or she, it's something that you might not think that you need help with, or you're going to figure it out on your own, but it actually saves you a lot of time. And we get to know our clients on a higher level if you're a part of the VIP or the private coaching, and whatever you need asked can be answered. And also, if you are interested in taking the Profit by Design Academy, all of our students say that it's like an MBA for design, and that their lives have been changed. They are so excited. They didn't realize that they could do it on their own. They wish they could have found us years before because they wouldn't have wasted so much time. And so if you're interested or thinking about it, but you want some more information, you just want to get to know how it will help you better, then go and check out the website. First of all, elkeclarke.com/start-and-scale. It will give you a huge breakdown of what the Profit by Design Academy is. And then also you can message us, because if you have a specific question that you want a little more information about, then we'll gladly answer your question. And we would love to welcome you within our space, because we have built such a great community of creative entrepreneurs who are ambitious to thrive and to build their Zazzle businesses. And we we love that we can help mentor and teach you along the way.
Yes. You said it perfectly.
Okay, so we'll see you back here at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, and we're going to be designing your first product and then posting it for sale. I'm really excited. It's going to be lots of fun, and do your homework, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.